When someone senses that their games and manipulation won't work on you, you instantly have power over them. The moment you start talking to a girl, she will naturally try to manipulate you. This is completely normal. It's in her nature. She'll try to play you and get what she wants from you. This isn't because women are evil, it's just part of who they are. However, the moment you turn the tables on her and show her that she can't manipulate you, she'll be yours. The way to achieve this is by having more power than her. To make this concept easier to understand, let's call this power status. But don't worry, status doesn't mean you have to be rich or tall. What I mean by status is psychological strength. If you've been following this series, How to Attract Women, you already know that women are drawn to status and power. So first, we need to understand why, as a man, you lose your power around women and let them manipulate you. This happens because you trade your status just to be liked. Now listen to me carefully. So why do most men lack status? Why don't most men have power in their relationships with the women they truly desire? The answer lies in the major mistakes that men consistently make, and I'm sure you've been guilty of at least some of them. But there's one mistake that stands above all the others: giving up your status to be liked. This happens when you offer a woman higher social status or more power at the expense of your own just to win her approval. Men give up their status to be liked. They do this with women they want to build relationships with, and also with the men and women in their social circles whom they want to befriend. Here's a simple example, and it happened to me a few months ago. I was out with some friends, and there was a girl with us. When we got into one of my friend's car, one of the guys called shotgun. The girl then said, "Oh, can I have that seat please?" The guy made a small joke, but in the end, he gave up the front seat and sat in the back to let her sit in the front. Why did he do that? Because he wanted her to like him. Of course, he didn't lose all his status in that moment, but his thought process was clear. If I say no, she won't like me. When you're afraid to say no because you fear being disliked, you're giving up your status. Often it's more subtle than this. It happens when you change or hide your opinion about something just to be liked, or when you prioritize someone else's comfort over your own. I know this might sound counterintuitive or even wrong, but that's because of the society we live in. From a young age, you've seen men in movies making sacrifices for the girl they love, but in real life, that doesn't work. Why do you think girls are attracted to so-called bad boys? It's because these men value themselves more than the girl. They refuse to give up their status to be liked, and women love them for that. Now that you understand why you lose power around the girl and give her the chance to play you, how can you turn the tables in your favor? Let me explain by answering a frequently asked question in the comments. What should I do when a girl asks me, "Are you going to buy me a drink?" Most men handle this situation in one of two ways, and both are wrong. The first group immediately buys the drink because they want her to like them. This means they're giving up their status to gain approval. The second group tries to show their value by saying, "I don't buy drinks for girls." But this is also a mistake. It shows you're trying too hard, which lowers your value as well. So, how should you handle this situation? What's the right way to respond? If a girl at a bar asks me, "Are you going to buy me a drink?" here's all you need to say. "I'll do that if we sit together. Find a comfortable spot where we can sit and chat, and I'll go grab the drinks." What you're doing here is asking for equal or greater value in return for what you're offering. You didn't say, "No way, you buy me a drink." A high status man wouldn't say something like that. A high status man assumes the girl is interested in him. She's already interested in you, so why wouldn't you want to buy her a drink? But you'll ask her to put in a bit of effort as well. If she's willing to do that, then you're willing too, and you'll buy her the drink. A low status man, on the other hand, doesn't care if the girl puts in any effort before buying the drink. That's the difference. When you're just getting to know a girl, she's piecing these things together quickly. She's paying attention to how others react to you, how you react to others, and most importantly, how you react to her. The first step is this: never let a girl command you. Look, be 100% certain that any girl you talk to will try to give you orders. She'll try to control you, tell you to do something, suggest taking a certain route, or ask you to pay for something or buy her something. This is completely normal. It's something all girls enjoy. They love giving orders, but if you say yes and agree without realizing it, you'll soon find yourself under her control, doing everything she asks. That's why you should never say yes to any request from a girl without consideration. If you find yourself in a situation where you have to agree to her request, like buying her a drink or taking a different route because it's genuinely better, you should always ask her to do something first before you agree. For example, "Buy me a drink?" "I will if we sit together." "Let's take this route instead. It's better." "Sure, but first imitate a cat's meow and I'll walk with you that way." This way, even if you go along with what she wants, you remain in control of the situation. But don't misunderstand me. This doesn't mean you should always demand something in return every time a girl makes a request. You only use this approach when you must agree to her request. The fundamental rule is to refuse her requests unless it aligns with what you genuinely want to do. For example, if she hands you a book and says, "Read this," and you're not into reading, you should simply say, "No." That was the first technique. Now, let's move on to the second technique, and I need you to pay close attention because this is one of the most common strategies girls use to manipulate, and almost all girls do it. This technique happens when you're talking to a girl and everything is going well. You feel happy and in sync. She's messaging you back quickly. The conversation flows smoothly, and then suddenly she stops responding. She doesn't talk to you the way she did before. This happens a lot, and it causes many men to lose their composure. Here's the key. If you start talking to a girl and everything seems to be going well, be prepared for the moment when she stops replying. It's bound to happen. Why? Because she's testing you. She's playing with your emotions to make you chase her, sending her more messages, trying harder to get her attention. She wants to destabilize you. What you need to do in that moment is resist the internal urge to chase her. Stop. Don't send her another message. Don't call her, and don't try to get her attention. Take a step back and let her come back to you on her own. Never listen to the voice of fear. And here's a golden rule you should remember for life. Don't listen to the voice of fear. Always listen to the voice of confidence. How do you do that? If a girl suddenly stops talking to you without any clear reason and you try to chase her, that means you've listened to the voice of fear. You're afraid of losing her, afraid you made a mistake, and by doing that you lose her because you're operating from fear. But if you listen to the voice of confidence, you'll tell yourself, she was into me and she'll definitely come back and message me again. Finally, understand the hidden messages. Listen carefully because I'm going to tell you a secret most men don't know about women. When you're talking to a girl, you need to realize that you're dealing with an emotional being, not a logical one. Women don't always know what they want or what they should do. You're not talking to her rational mind, and what she says to you doesn't hold absolute value. If you take her words at face value, you'll fall victim to manipulation. So how do you deal with this? How do you interpret her hidden messages? What she says versus what she means? Listen closely. There's a fundamental truth about women that most men fail to understand. Women don't always mean what they say, and they don't always say what they mean. In other words, if she says she doesn't like you, that doesn't necessarily mean she doesn't like you. There's often a hidden message behind her words, and I'll explain exactly how to decode those hidden messages. The concept here is very simple, but most men overcomplicate things and try to understand women as if it's rocket science. Actions speak louder than words. If you really want to understand a woman, all you need to do is pay attention to what she does, not what she says. Her actions will always reveal her true needs, so always focus on her actions, not her words. If a girl says she prefers taller guys but always dates shorter ones, it means she doesn't mind dating shorter guys. Or if she says she doesn't do one-night stands but frequently ends up doing them, it means she's okay with it, or even prefers it. If she says she doesn't like you but still talks to you, it means she does like you but doesn't want you to know. If she didn't like you, why would she talk to you in the first place? As you can see, it's very simple. Whenever you notice a disconnect between what a girl says and what she does, always focus on her actions. Getting caught up in her words will leave you confused every time. So pay attention to her actions, not her words. Now, I'll take this opportunity to address something I often see in the comments. Some girls claim that what I'm saying isn't true. And now, it's time to respond to that, it's time to address this. If you check my channel and read the comments, you will see that the majority of women say that what I'm saying isn't true. But at the same time, most men comment that they've applied my advice, and thanks to it, now have girlfriends. This contradiction is very common in the world of relationships. You'll often hear women saying they don't like bad boys or players, yet those same bad boys and players are the ones who are most successful with women. Why this contradiction? Because women don't truly know what they want. Women don't know what they want in a man, and I mean that very seriously. Look at any girl, and you'll find that most of them have been socially conditioned to believe that Prince Charming will ride in on his white horse to sweep them off their feet. When you ask them about the qualities of their ideal man, they'll say things like, he should be nice, have a sense of humor, act like a gentleman, etc. But that's not what they truly want in a man. All these ideas have been planted in their minds by society. This is why so many women end up with men they once said they would never date. In reality, a woman doesn't know what she truly wants until she meets a man who flips her world upside down. In most cases, she'll completely change her habits with this new man and start doing things she's never done before. This is why, never take advice from a woman about what women want. That's a recipe for failure. So to summarize, always pay attention to her actions, not her words. It's crucial to focus on what a girl does rather than what she says. Some men get stuck on her words and end up confused because her words will never fully align with her actions. A common example of this is a woman who goes out and sleeps with other men but comes home and tells her husband she loves him deeply. So, don't be fooled by her words. Study her actions and you'll understand what's really going on in her mind.